Hi, and welcome back to Buzzcraft, and before I say anything else, yes, there is a giant crafting table behind me. I'm not too sure what to make of that, but regardless, I think today is going to be a very interesting and productive one, because I have noticed that a few shops have been popping up in the server recently, and so I thought maybe it's time that I set up a shop of my very own. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing in today's video. And I'm thinking maybe a dye shop would be pretty cool, as I think dyes are just one of those items in Minecraft that are generally overlooked, so I'm fairly certain we can make a decent amount of sales once we have this shop up and running. So in this barrel right here we have the necessary materials to build this shop, which I spent a decent amount of time off camera gathering up. So let's head on over to the shopping district and we can check out some of the shops that are already there, and then we can begin construction on our very own dye shop. So here we are at the shopping district, and it looks like we have a few shops that are already here. So before we go ahead and build our dye shop, let's quickly take a look at what all these shops are already selling here. So first up we have the netherrack and basalt store. I'm liking this construction actually, I think this works pretty well. I mean, it's obviously a nether themed shop, so we have 1 stack of basalt for 1 diamond, so there's a few stacks in here, and 4 stacks of netherrack for 2 diamonds. Okay, well I can see why somebody would need some of these items. I think basalt might actually be something that I'm going to be in need of fairly soon for a project I have coming up, so I think I might be spending a few diamonds in this shop right here. Oh wow, okay. I don't think that's supposed to be there. I don't think that's allowed. Okay, well, I'm assuming that's not part of the shop itself. That's a little bit strange, although I might just have to kill you for those leads right there. I'll have a little think about it and I'll come back later. So a magma exchange shop is what we have here. Please take 2 diamonds in exchange for 64 magma. There's only 3 slots because I only need 3 stacks of magma. Okay, well, it looks like somebody's already deposited a stack of magma. I think I might just have to go to Nether and mine out some magma myself, because 2 diamonds for a stack, that's pretty good, I think. I think we could definitely make some money over here. So I'll keep this place in mind. Over here we have the stone brick store. Obviously, you know, this is a very bricky, stony sort of themed shop right here. Fairly basic design, but I think it, you know, it works well for what it is. Yeah, I think it works pretty well. So we have 2 stacks for 1 diamond. I'm guessing that's 2 stacks of stone bricks. That's actually a pretty good deal, actually. I might have to, you know, come here and spend a few diamonds. I think that's a pretty good deal for 2 stacks. 4 stacks for 2 diamonds. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? So, yeah, I think this could be quite a useful place to come. But over here we have Ruthar's exchange shop. Exchange certain items in order to receive diamonds, measured in stacks. Ooh, that's this sounds quite interesting, to be honest. Once you have given the correct amount, you may take the diamonds. 1 stack of black dye for 1 diamond, and 2 stacks of sand for 1 diamond. And we have 2 stacks of stone bricks for 1 diamond, and 2 stacks of gravel for 1 diamond also. So, I think this is a pretty good idea for a shop, actually. Wow, I might just have to take some inspiration from this place, because, hang on, is there any sales so far? I mean, it looks like there's been a fair amount of sales. I mean, it's quite convenient that there's literally a stone brick store right next to this shop, so I'm not really sure which one came first. I'm guessing this one probably came first, because if this shop was already here, then why would you need an exchange shop with stone bricks? I'll see you soon. I think I might take those leads. But anyway, the last shop we have over here, what is this? Okay, we have the... Oh, okay, we just have a berry shop. So, oh, I'm quite liking this design, you know. I mean, it's a fairly basic house on the outside. Well, it's not a house, it's a shop, but I mean, it's a fairly basic sort of house design. I mean, there's no issues there, it looks completely fine. We have 3 stacks for 1 diamond, and the the payment here, this is a good idea actually. having the actual chest full of berries. Looks like this person has definitely gathered up a fair amount of berries. That's definitely good when you're opening a shop. You want to have a lot of the actual items that you're selling. So, and then you have the payment here. I think that works pretty well. I might have to take inspiration from this. That might actually be a good idea. So, lastly, we have this plot of land over here, and this is where I'll be building my shop. So, I already have my materials in this barrel over here ready to go, and as you can see, this sign just says Samysoony's shop plot, and I've marked out the actual area which I'm going to be making my shop in out of dirt. So, we have all the items laid out here, ready to go, and I think I'll wait till morning actually. I think that'd be a wise decision before I build the shop. And yeah, I think we can do a pretty sweet time lapse. And once the thing is done, I'll give you guys a quick tour of it, and we'll move on to the other stuff that I have planned for this episode. Alright, so we now have ourselves a shop, but I do think this shop is definitely in need of some lighting, and I think I have an idea for how we could go about adding in some lighting into the shop. Also, it is looking a little bit bland and empty, in my opinion, and it's also actually missing the very items that we're planning on selling here, which is of course the dyes. So I think I'm going to head back home and grab some dye, as well as a couple things that I think could really help to spice up the shop and just make it look that little bit nicer. So, after having taken a trip to a nearby flower biome and crafting up a few more items, we're now back with all that we need to get this shop up and running. So in these barrels over here we have all the dyes that I could craft up, and obviously we are missing a few variants such as the green and the brown dyes, but for the time being we'll just have to sell what's here, and it's a lot, it's definitely a lot, and I am going to be selling these in half stacks, so I do have, you know, more of different kinds of dyes and less of others, because the black dye is extremely annoying and time consuming to gather up. So obviously we have less dyes, less of the dyes that are harder to get, or just the ones that I don't have as much of lying around. So I think it should be enough. It's going to be 1 diamond per half stack, and as you can see I have already laid out how I want things to look inside the shop. I've gone for some sort of color coordination sort of theme going on over here, so you can kind of find what you're looking for a little bit quicker. This place over here is missing some dies, but obviously, like I said, over time we'll be accumulating more and more until we have the full set of 16. So I think we should go ahead and fill all these barrels up, and then I think we should be pretty much done. So we now have the shop fully stocked up with some dies, as you can see right here, and yeah, it's pretty much ready to go. However, I did say I was going to do something about the blandness and emptiness of the shop up here, and so luckily I have brought some more materials with me to make it look even better. So I think I'll roll a short time lapse and I'll give you guys a quick tour once it's done. Well, didn't this turn out better than I expected? And you may have noticed that I did use some green concrete during the time lapse, and that's because I finally came across some cacti after wandering around looking for some for absolutely ages. It took me a very long time, but I'm really glad that I did manage to find some, because now I can use green in the shop, and I think it looks very, very nice. And I only just had enough for the concrete, but I did actually have a few spare bits left over, which I went ahead and put in the item frames over here. So we don't actually have any green dye currently stocked in the shop, but we'll be sure to fix that soon enough. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this turned out, and I think it looks really good. And I do think that we can make plenty of sales here, because it's a very pretty shop, and I think dyes are going to be very much needed in the server. If not now, then they will be very soon. So I think all that's left to do now is to inform everybody on the server that Samysoony's dye shop is officially open for business. So our first victim will be Kaziki, as he is the closest one that I could find, and I think we should probably just put the chest right inside his house so he won't miss it. So we have our chest, and then we have dye shop open for business. So I mean, you can't really miss it, can you? Yeah, I think that'll be okay. We'll just leave that in there. So that is one for Kaziki, one for Denton, one for Enderost, one for Wixo, one for Ruthar, one for Dallas, and finally one for Flixro. And I think that's pretty much everybody on the server, so hopefully soon enough we should start getting some sales in our brand new shop. So that just about wraps it up for today's video. If you did enjoy it, then be sure to leave a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.